Hey, Chandler Bolt here, and in this video I want to talk about how to create morning affirmations that actually work. So I'm a big fan of morning routines. Maybe you've seen my video all about how to create a morning routine. It's a really great video. Highly recommend that you check it out if you haven't already. But that kind of goes through, what does my morning routine look like? There's a specific part of that morning routine that people ask about all the time, and that's affirmations. Now, I love the book, The Miracle Morning. It's by a good friend of mine, Hal Elrod. He talks about the SAVERS concept, and it's kind of an acronym, but the A in SAVERS stands for affirmations. Okay, and I'm just a firm believer in affirmations and using affirmations. So what I want to do in this video is talk to you about the why behind affirmations, also talk about the what. So what would that look like to even create them? Why I'm a big fan of recording them and listening to them, which is probably different from a lot of what you heard. And then lastly, I'm going to give you some examples of what my affirmations look like so that I can help you create your morning affirmations that actually work. So let's start with the why behind affirmations. So maybe you've heard the saying thoughts are things, but we know scientifically that our subconscious thoughts become our conscious thoughts become our actions become our habits become our life. So it all, if we go all the way back to our subconscious thoughts, that's where we can truly make lasting change on our life. So there's been a lot of science behind this, there's been a lot of research behind this, and we know that in the morning and at night, our subconscious is most susceptible to outside thoughts or stimulus. So the research shows that it's most important to listen to affirmations either first thing when you get up or the last thing before you go to bed. Also visualization and things like that. There's the law of attraction, and we can get into a bunch of different stuff like that. If you've ever heard of The Secret, maybe you've read that book, you've seen the movie, you know that thoughts truly are things. And I've got another video all about how you should watch your language, right? And the things that we say to ourselves, the things that we say to others about ourselves, that becomes our reality. So affirmations are kind of the first step towards that. So that's why I believe in not only should you say them, but you should record them and you should listen to them every single morning. So if we're going through affirmations in the morning, there's two ways that you can do it. You can say them out loud, or you can record them and listen to them. Now, I'm a big fan of the latter, and really both work, but either starts with you coming up with the affirmation. So that's what we're going to get to in just a minute, and I'm going to walk you through how to create affirmations, but you can say them or you can listen to them. And my personal preference, the method that I use, is I've recorded my affirmations and I listen to them every morning right when I get up. So I get up, I'm taking my retainers out, I'm brushing my teeth, and while I'm doing that, I'm listening to my affirmations, because again, that's when my subconscious is most susceptible to outside thought. Now, the second thing that I do, and this is kind of a pro tip, is actually my brother has recorded affirmations for me as well. So I listen to my affirmations and me telling myself how awesome I am and affirming statements and things like that. And then I listen to somebody else telling me how awesome I am. And it's just really affirming and life-giving and like such a great way to start the day, where you're hearing these things and it's embedding in your subconscious thought all these positive identity statements, these positive things about yourself, both from you and from others. Now, when it comes to creating good affirmations, there's something that's really important, and that's that it's a positive, affirmative statement with some tension. Now, I want to break that down and kind of unpack that, but positive, affirming, and productive tension. So the productive tension is actually what in your brain creates the dissonance that creates change. So if I say, and this is an example I'll use in just a minute, I remember everyone's name after the first time that they tell me. Well, I'm creating that affirmation because I'm bad at remembering names. Or if you've watched my Watch Your Language video, I used to be bad at remembering names, right? And so the affirmation is positive, it's affirmative, and there's productive tension. Now, it is not the things that I don't want to happen. That's hence the positive piece. I learned this from Jack Canfield. He's got a great audiobook. It's called Maximum Confidence. Highly recommend it. But in that book, he kind of talks about this. He says, if I tell you, imagine the dog is not chasing the cat. What do you think about? What do you think about right now, right? You're thinking about a dog chasing a cat. So if your affirmations, if you say, I'm not forgetful, I don't forget people's names when they tell me their name. Well, that's your mind focuses on what's not what is. So it's, some people would call this I am statements. So these are affirmative, positive statements. In the same way, I heard a professional golfer talking about one time. He said, one of the key things is visualizing your shot before you take it. He says, Every shot that I take, I visualize it beforehand. And just one tip from a golf perspective, he says, is, what a lot of amateurs, the mistake that they make is that they see the hole and they think, oh man, I don't want to go in the water, or I don't want to go in the sand trap. And that's the last thought that they have before they swing. And guess where they go? The sand trap or in the water, because they're thinking about the thing that they don't want to do. And where attention goes, energy flows, right? So if I'm paying attention to that sand trap, if I'm paying attention to the water hazard, well then my focus is there. And where my focus is, that's where I'm going. It's gonna, I'm just using a bunch of kind of the same analogies, but if I'm throwing a baseball or hitting a baseball and my toe is pointed one direction, well that's where the ball is gonna go, right? Because I am focused on where I am going, or where in this case the ball is going. So it needs to be positive, affirming statements with productive tension. So we got kind of a framework here. Now what I want you to do is think about, what are those statements for you? What are those positive affirming statements? What are the areas of your life that you're like, hey, I really want to grow in this area. I really want to improve here. And think about that and list that out. That's going to be your homework at the end of this video. But first, I want to give you some examples of what I've done personally. So here are some examples from my affirmations. I remember everyone's name after the first time they tell me. Again, I'm working on getting better at remembering people's names. I'm a great leader. So I'm affirming my leadership ability. That's an area that I want to grow, an area that I want to develop. I'm confident and decisive in all situations. Right? That's something where I haven't always been confident. I haven't always been decisive. So I made that an affirmation. I'm confident and decisive in all situations. I take time to stop and smell the roses, traveling and spending time with people I love. So that's a big one for me is, I used to not be very good at celebrating wins, at taking time to slow down, to enjoy things. And so that's an affirmation that I hear every single morning. I'm going to make $1 million in 2017. That's an affirmation that I had in 2017, and knowing that that would be a big jump for me. Girls love me and are lucky to date me. My wife's going to be a 10 out of 10 in all areas, challenging me to be the best version of myself, right? This is in an era when I'm dating a lot. And that was something that's super important to me, is like building confidence around dating, building confidence around my self-worth in relationships, building confidence about the type of partner that I want to attract and the type of person that I want to be with, and all those things. And so building that towards, it's now becoming an I am positive, affirming statement with a little bit of tension. And so it's challenging me to be better, but it's also challenging me to expand my expectation so that when it comes into my life, this is not something I'm thinking, oh man, this is not for me, I'm not worthy of this, but I've spoken this into existence. And then lastly, and kind of this is the thing that I like to end with, is today's gonna be a great day. Right? Because I'm listening to this in the morning. So today's going to be an awesome day, or, my brother has an ending that's a little bit different that I won't repeat. But it's like, gets you fired up, and it's like, oh yeah, today's going to be a great day. This is going to be amazing. So I want you to imagine for a second, if you had those type of statements. So imagine 6 months from now, a year from now, you've listened to that recording from yourself, and maybe if you're going a little bit advanced, you've listened to that recording from yourself and from someone else. This literally takes 30 to 60 seconds to say all of these things and record it. And then, this for me, it's on my iPhone. I pop in my headphones and I listen to it. Imagine you've done that for 365 days. Do you think there'd be some differences in your life? You think there would be some positive changes, some improvements, and all those things? I say yes, and I've seen it firsthand. I've seen this work. As I get better at these things, there's focus on these things, there's attention on these things, and your identity starts to change. And when you start to rewire your subconscious, you start to rewire your conscious mind, which leads into your actions, your thoughts, your habits, like all of these things snowballs in all areas of your life. So I'd encourage you, take some time right now. So as soon as this video is over, this podcast is over, take some time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, jot down a rough draft of your affirmations, and then just record it. You can open up voice memos on your phone, press record, and record yourself reading those affirmations. It might be 30 seconds, it might be 60 seconds, and listen to those affirmations for 30 days and watch your life change. All right, so comment below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below. Let me know what you thought of this. Do you have a different process that you use for your affirmations? Maybe if you're bold enough, you'll share your affirmations below in the comments. I'd love to see some of those. I read and respond to every single comment, so I'd love to hear your takeaways. What did you like from this process? What did you not like? And how have you seen this work for you? Okay, so take 2 minutes right now. Comment below. As always, click the like button on this video, and then grand finale, click that subscribe button. Yep, click the subscribe button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, the podcast, and I'll see you in the next video. Talk soon.